Welcome everyone to today's session of G-Lab. We have, today's going to be a somewhat special session. On the one hand, we're going to be having a panel on what it's like to be an entrepreneur in some emerging markets. And we're very fortunate to have with us three entrepreneurs from three Latin American countries. Alejandro Monestier, right here, who is from the company Hidden Bed from Uruguay. We have Germán Pugliese, here in the middle, from Technisys in Argentina, and Luis Chicani from Dental Core, who is handing out some toothbrushes and toothpaste if any of you need it. He said that you can't, dentists have to give that to you or else it's a bad luck day. So fortunately, today is a good luck day. And just to explain, we have, it's being filmed today because I think all of you know about this initiative called OpenCourseware, where a lot of the courses get put out on the web, and this course is one of those courses. We've been putting out a lot of the material, and they've asked to film a session so that they can also have that on the web. So that's what we're going to be doing. The point of today's session is to get away from sort of abstract theories and models and frameworks and actually hear from real-life people who are trying to basically start and build a company, an entrepreneurial firm in an emerging market, what it's like. What are the opportunities it presents? What are the difficulties? How did they, with their own business, manage through the difficulties and opportunities? And what I've asked them to do is speak initially very briefly, no more than 15 minutes, about their own experience, and then we can do is open it up for question and answer and get really a lively conversation. So without any more delay, why don't we have you all come to the table. You can sit all here, you can stand up here. Because of the recording, we have to have you speak in the microphones, okay? And why don't, Alejandro, are you ready? Okay, so why don't we start with Alejandro Monestier from Hidden Bed in Uruguay. Good. All right, if he needs that. Thank you.
Sorry for the delay. Thank you for receiving us here, Professor Locke. And so I will tell you a little bit about my company, which I founded a year and a half ago. It's based on intellectual property. Yeah. And, oh, that's that. First, I will show you the product. It's basically a bed and desk combination furniture. You will see the function in a few seconds. And it all started in my room in Uruguay. I was studying for 5 years in the Czech Republic, in Prague, and I went back home where no place for me at home. Yeah. So together with my father, we started thinking how to solve the space problem. And finally, we came up with this design. The first prototype was a dinosaur with thousands of bones. Yeah, but I was working later in Asia for 2 years, and I simplified the design quite a lot until it became more or less what it is there, which has like 13 pieces of wood and a quite simple mechanism that costs in the range of $30 to manufacture. Yeah, I think that probably the most difficult thing to do was to get convinced of the potential of a product in an environment that usually doesn't support new ideas. Yeah, I think that the skepticism is a big problem at least in Uruguay, where I belong. It's very difficult to convince your surrounding that you want to go for an idea that it's absolutely crazy, which was true at that time. Yeah, but your job is to make that come true. So basically, that's what I wanted to do, and so I've been working on that for 2 years. What we did was first simplify the first prototype. Yeah. And when it was ready, I decided to spend some money in going to a fair of furniture in Germany, which cost something like $20,000, something like that. We got a very early angel investor, yeah, that helped us with these financial things. And with the first prototype of the simplified version, we went to Germany to show it in a furniture fair. The success was absolutely, I mean, an instant thing. And it was really inspiring for a later, much more difficult story than just making people like laugh at a piece of furniture, which is, I think, the most unusual thing on this product, that it makes people smile, yeah? So much that the first model was Hidden Bed Model Smile, yeah, because everybody smiled when they saw it in Germany. And you can show them maybe the web page there. I go to the left, and yeah, the third one from the bottom, that one. Yeah, so this is Hidden Bed Smile, yeah. If you scroll there, Sebastian, please, you will see a lot of models that were developed in the year 2003, practically all of them, from different factories in different parts of the world. An important part that I have not mentioned up to now was the extreme importance of intellectual property in this game that is not so big by now, but it has a very good profile to become a huge business in the future. If you have a good idea that you think that that could exist before, never be sure, because the technology for making the hidden bed is available since the time of the Romans or the Egyptians, but it is new. Yeah, so that's the incredible thing. We took the risk of, at that time it was really a risk to file a patent for quite a lot of money for us. And we bet on the fact that it was a new thing, in spite of all the logical reasoning that you can do. This could not be new, but it was. So in that sense, we were quite lucky that it's true. But I think that it's also important to identify the opportunity and to work very hard in developing it. I think that the surrounding of Uruguay for my company was quite difficult in the sense of getting, first of all, the support from the family. Yeah, like to say, okay, that thing that you have in your room, you will start working on that, and
where is the money? Yeah, so it was really maybe a quite irresponsible thing to do. Yeah, it's a risk that you run, but you're not alone. I mean, if you go to the bottom of the sea, your family will join a little bit. Yeah, so you are putting some risks, and you are taking some calculated risks. I think that I've never been so conservative in my life as I've been since I found this opportunity. I mean, you are taking a risk in the sense that you are not earning money with the big hope that you will one day earn a lot of money. Yeah, I don't think that that's taking risk. I think that that's a matter of a trend of how many money you are getting. But once you see the idea, it's working on it, being the best at it. If you have the advantage of a patent, that's of course a big thing. But I would like to mention the importance of hard work and not to be discouraged by many facts, yeah, along the way. When you have an idea, when you have this vision, you will find thousands of difficulties. For example, finding good suppliers. As simple as that. In Uruguay, people are used to more or less work as they like, not as you want them to do. Yeah, so we were, for example, outsourcing the mechanisms, and we had incredible problems. Just with these small pieces of metal, it was just lathe and folded iron. That was an endless fight with suppliers, that they have to do it according to a thing that you call drawings, yeah, and that the screws have to screw and all that kind of thing. That so in that sense, it's not easy to rely on quite like handcraft-made production. Yeah, and I'm sure that whatever the concept, you will work first with a prototype that is made by a somewhat amateur people, whatever the field. I think the big guys are making a lot of quantity somewhere else, probably. I mean, maybe in the high tech you are personally involved in that, but in some cases you have to just rely on what other people will do, and probably you will get to someone that makes one piece of something and that he's happy with what he has, and that probably doesn't have the hope to participate in your future business, because they are just one step of the ladder. So it's quite difficult to get that running. Another thing that you have to sacrifice is personal time and contact with your relatives. For example, now I've been traveling in Europe for 3 months. I like Europe very much, but I also want to go now and then home. So now I'm going back. I don't know how many minutes I have left. 5 or 1 minute? Whoa. Time flies, like me. And so basically the situation now is that we have people that buy our mechanism in 10 countries in a small quantity. Hidden beds have been sold around the world for about $1 million in the last year, which when I tell this to some potential investors, they open their eyes quite big, because it's such a simple thing, and with an impact that's difficult to imagine in the future. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Alejandro. Why don't we now move over to Germán?
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to talk about Technisys. Technisys is a software company that develops software for banks. And we start in 1995 with just an idea of giving the people the possibility to access their bank accounts through the internet. By that time, internet were not so popular, as you know, and it was very hard to convince banks in Argentina to buy a software for internet banking. But what did we do with this idea? It was just an idea. We can do a company. So we decided to go and hire people from the financial industry, people that were working with IBM in the financial industry for 30 years, and we got through them the first person that believed in us and decided to hire us to build their first internet banking solution, and that was Deutsche Bank in Argentina in 1995. By that time, that was the first internet banking solution in Argentina, one of the first in Latin America and the fourth worldwide. And we know that we have now a good idea, we have now a good business case to show others, and we decide to focus our company in that business that was the internet banking. And as you know, for start a company, we need about 3 basic things. One is knowledge. We know very well the financial industry. We know very well the technology industry. That's why we could make that software at the time where internet practically doesn't exist. And through these people that we hire, we got contacts. That is the second important thing that we need to make a starting company. And the third important thing is capital. And that's a big issue in Latin America because there is no mechanism for starting companies to get capital. And for instance, I give you an example. We go to the market to get a loan from Bank Boston in Argentina, and they offer us a loan for a 96% rate annually. So could you imagine how we can do our business with that rate? And that's why we struggle getting some initial capital, and we decide to make a business model that support our growth. And that is, as our client are banks, we charge them with an initial fee so we can finance our projects, and then we could hire people and finish the projects. So in that way, we start growing since internet became very popular, and the market exploded, and we grow a lot. But at that time, we decided we thought that Argentina was not enough for keeping our growth, and that's why we decided to go to the international markets. And in 2001, we decided to open offices in Madrid, in Spain, and in Miami, here in US, trying to reach the international market with our core product that was internet banking. As you know, in Argentina and here in US, the economics didn't go so well since 2001. So our expansion got very hard during that time. But as at the first time when we had to sell the idea of internet, when internet wasn't already there, we push a lot. We convince a lot of people. We go after the idea, and well, we got clients, and now we got several clients in US and Latin America, and not only in Argentina, and also in Europe. And what's important thing of what we have done is that we have we had a lot of problems to solve. We had a lot of things to learn. We had many things that we have came through, and we did by believing in our own idea, we believing in our vision, in how we see the future of our company, and trying to grow, always trying to grow. The company since the beginning is growing every year, is getting more and more people, more and more clients, and also we have to be very careful on the growth, because without a big capital support, we learn how to grow without invest a lot. Just invest the right thing to be always beyond the competence. And in the early beginning years of our company, several times we got new ideas to go to the market, and several times we saw that the market were not prepared for buying those new ideas or those new products. So now we learned that we have to go not so fast with the new product, but being always beyond the competence, beyond the competitors. And that's the way we are now an international company that is working very hard in three different, very different cultures, like Europe, America, and Latin America. And the main thing, it's the entrepreneurial spirit that we use to push the ideas and to come out with solutions when a problem presents. And that's what I think that's one of our of our strengths right now, facing this new challenge that is growing in this global market. Well, that's it.
Thank you very much. Great. And our third presenter is Luis Chicani.
Você quer me ajudar aqui a mudar ou ele? Acho que o Makoto me ajuda. Can I stay up?
Yeah, and there's a microphone over there. Phil can give it to you.
Quando eu pedir para mudar, a gente muda aqui, ganha tempo. Okay. I would like to thank you, Professor Locke, for the invitation, and all of you. For the people who doesn't know, we speak Portuguese in Brazil, so I'm sorry for my English. What I try to do in these 15 minutes is tell a little things we did, and in my opinion, what's important for an entrepreneur to do. Let's go. Okay, in Brazil, let's talk about our market. I brought some papers like this, tell what we do. It's a dental care company. And just to tell you, almost 1 of 5 people in Brazil never went to a dentist, neither once in their life. And we have, on the other hand, 12% of all dentists in the world are in Brazil. So it's hard to believe, but that's true. Let's go. Okay, we have 180 million people. Only 36 million have dental or medical care. 33 million have medical care, and dental care only 4 million people. That would be 2% of all population in Brazil. If we make a cut in our population, for people who makes the family revenue more than 1,000 reais, that would be $300 a month, we go to 5%. So it has a lot to grow in our country. Just to compare, in the United States, almost 60% of the people here have dental insurance. That's what we heard from NADP, and almost 86%. German told me now health plans are going down here, a lot of price problems, but if you want to compare, it's a big difference, our market and American market. Those numbers, just to compare, in the United States you have, that's 1991 number, but you have less than 55 dental schools, and we have not 125, that was 1996, now we have 160. We have the same dental schools than United States and Canada together. And you can compare the population and the GNP, big difference. Okay, this is me, 1992, I'm a dentist, and I have my own office, my private office, and a public job, and I would work there for 24 hours in a row to make money. We started the company with $600 with a used dental equipment, and now 15 years after that, we have 22 regional offices all over Brazil with 12,000 options of dentists in our network I brought here in almost 600 cities in Brazil. And we have dental care, Brazilian dentists in all those cities over the world. Okay, that's companies we work for. Our business is to give dental benefits to employees of organizations. Some of them you might know, General Electric. Spoleto is here. Yeah, that's my friend. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so how to become not just a dentist and to do beautiful works, but I try to